This poem is called In Search of Midnight. Somewhere in the cold midnight of Idaho, two women prepare to leave town together. They're tired of drawing public attention to the way they hold each other's hands. Couples in Idaho do hold hands, they just don't usually look like two women. So they hit the road for California, where people do still segregate themselves from each other. And every city's east side is feared by suburbans, because the local news anchor hates the east side. So he reminds us every night on the nightly news just how dangerous it is with all of its minorities and crime. He prefers downtown at midnight, where he can afford to be a teenager again, and maybe even on top of one. And somewhere on the east side of Vancouver, British Columbia, a 14-year-old woman hops on a bus to get to Hastings Street downtown, where her body is worth a little more. She wonders if any girl has ever taken their pimp to the school prom, and watches out for all the hookers who are younger than her. Dead mothers cannot question a child who sleeps through the afternoon. When she has enough money, she'll catch a bus to Montreal or Toronto and dance for the rest of her life. But currently, it is midnight and she has rent to make. At midnight in Hollywood, there are waiters and waitresses practicing their Academy Award acceptance speech while serving you chicken wings and hash browns. At midnight in Denver, there are poets heating up their dinners on radiators and washing their clothes by hand, because quarters are saved for buses and homeless people. At midnight in San Antonio, a man holds a party because the body warmth will heat up his house just long enough to get a few hours of sleep before teaching his elementary school class in the morning. At midnight in Portland, a college student sleeps in someone else's bed every night just so she can continue her education. At midnight in Seattle, a man hears a poem that will keep him alive for one more day. At midnight in San Diego, an illegal immigrant puts American cash into an envelope to be mailed back to his family in Mexico while eating his first Big Mac on his late-night lunch break. At midnight in Oklahoma City, a young girl gets drunk for the first time and realizes it is the best thing to do because it is the only thing to do. At midnight in Chicago, a man sits in jail for the first time in his life for a crime he did not commit. He knows nobody will believe him because he knows all too well the color of his own skin. He marvels at how far we've come. At midnight, in some of the worst parts of Detroit, a woman prays to her God for the first time in years because of something she heard on the news. She really just wants tomorrow to be a better day for everybody. At midnight, in San Jose, California, a fat man puts more food into his mouth to try to feel better about the world or simply forget it altogether. At midnight, throughout the rest of the world, people are exactly who they should be. They are you. And you are quite possibly someone you'll never share with anyone else. You are the ones who could leave hot food at the feet of sleeping homeless people and then worry about your next meal when no one's looking. You're the ones who may never function at noon. The ones everyone will say someday left the planet a little too soon. You might not have tongues, but you have a lot to say, I know. I talk a lot, but I try to listen. Maybe you're doing what it takes to stay sane and alive. Maybe you're not wearing the finest clothes. Maybe you're online and searching. Maybe you're making free calls on phones you cannot afford, but no matter what, you are reaching out to yourselves in an attempt to find perfection. Whether it is within yourself or in someone else, but somewhere out there it must exist. It must be possible to achieve what we all want, because if it isn't, that means that midnight comes to us for no reason. That means we are all starting over every single day for no reason. So there must be something perfect in this world. And I believe that it comes to us all at midnight. Thank you.